Hey guys, we're back with some more of the letter. When we last left off, Marianne is the worst protagonist in the history of protagonists. And yeah, we're about to come to a split, it looks like. Wondering if this has to do with Isabella's death or not. Or if this is an actual choice. Though I am able to keep myself professional at all times, does not mean I like it. What do you mean keep your... At all... You just crushed Isabella's hopes and dreams. Seeing that most of the day has already gone by before I realize it, just to head back to my flat instead. Despite today being a Saturday. No fun, but at least this way, definitely avoid another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing whiskey in the near foreseeable future, I'm feeling I'll need all the rest the weekend can give me. For the first time in a long while, settled as I am to work in the mansion, cannot wait to be over and done with this project. October 24th, Monday. So Isabella's dead? No, not yet, not yet. She dies tonight. Monday couldn't come any sooner. After taking the floor paints from Miss Santos the day before last, spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling in my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, quite sure they want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, and the most pretentious everything. Has the cat thing already happened yet? Yeah, it did. They usually did, these search types. Based from experience, at least. Giving up... Wait. There's time travel shenanigans going on. During the cat decision, there's two dialogue options, and one of them erased your relationship with Marianne. So, but that relationship stayed the same, even though it hadn't happened yet. Pardon me. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants takes the elevator up with me. Makes me self-conscious. When the woman's eyes go over me, Trisha is going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance. When I'm safe from being paranoid, which she went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The ride's lived up at the very top, the penthouse. The creme de la creme. Creme de la creme? When it comes to condominium in urban living. Is that right? And getting access to the place is an ordeal of its own. I had to jump so many hoops, so many security checks, just to secure a key card. Not only because of the building manager, but because of the right's personal security. Sometimes I've felt like I was being interrogated for a crime, not visiting a client at their home. Even when their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil, the elevator door opens, and we're greeted by none other than Whiskies. Can you stop calling him that? That's a little lackey.
I do apologize if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting, but I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon. I'm surprised to see you made it through security, and only 5 minutes late.
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
Well, just calm down. This is a professional setting, Marianne.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
Yeah.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly putting on a teapot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for the tea. I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Accepting the quiet isolation, and isolation instead, brace myself for what's to come. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes, or even 10. Sit in their living room, just waiting. When the kettle starts whistling and the tea has been served, continue to wait. At least the silence is relaxing. But there's a crash. I nearly spilled tea all over my lap in surprise. Look up expecting security come running over. Oh, I want to check something. So no, that wasn't a choice. That was the result of my choices. Okay. I kind of wanted to go back and see if I actually got Hannah's good ending or not, because that's kind of what I think I did. Like, you know, maybe she either has to die or get possessed. I don't know if there's an ending where she actually just doesn't. Like, it looks like, you know, maybe this one, but curious what went wrong with Hannah. Was it your relationship with Luke, or just like, you know, she got mad at him at the, you know, the girl cheating, you know, the pregnant woman. Wonder if, you know, that was the cause of it, or maybe, you know, the seller. Even the man at the kitchen counter continues to fix breakfast like he heard nothing. Wait, what? There's a crash. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking. I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what that was. Though I'm normally not this nosy. No. That's a terrible idea. It also leads to more decisions, but... What day is it? It's 24th? Okay, we don't know what happened this day, so just continue waiting. But what if someone just died? But no, continue waiting. I have no business with it. These rich people usually value their privacy above all else, after all. Unless, of course, they're posting pictures on social media, bragging about what good people they are, for allowing themselves to be interviewed for some magazine. Then again, the whole reason I'm in this mess is because I don't give two dangs about this... about what goes on with people like them. I'm not going to get caught snooping around about it and be accused of some imagined wrongdoing. Like Zachary. Well, I mean, he did break, you know... What's it called? Well, it's not really breaking, it's just entering. I'm not going to be some busybody detective wannabe and you're going to have to investigate. Whatever that was. It's probably something mundane anyway, like a lamp falling over. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Mrs. Wright with my tea. Complete silence.
Could I at least put the telly on?
No, come on, Marianne. Just sit there and be patient. I only expect him to answer. He hadn't heard the crash. I doubt he would have heard.
As long as you don't watch some silly soap opera, the LBC News would be fine. The William Walker Show is on too, if you prefer that. Not that I watch it, but my husband does. The remote is under the coffee table.
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch the doc on. I heard they're having reruns of the classics, and I want to see the second meet sixth in Spain. If not, just the news then.
Doctor Who?
Thank you. I'll let you get on with your cooking now.
I've never watched Doctor Who. Like, that's... I'm not British. I don't... No. But I've just never seen it on. Never really had an interest to, you know, watch it, you know. Did they ignore the crash a while ago then? Whatever. Fetching the remote, I turn the TV on in hopes of filling the silence. Trying to anyway, because the thing won't turn on. Doesn't that make the silence more awkward, or what? No, I might not be the best with tech, but I'm sure I can work a simple television remote.
The batteries must be dead.
Spooky. There's blood everywhere. Help me, it says in red. Look at my own hands and find them clean, and I can see my grisly reflection gaping back at me. Though there's nothing staining my skin, I feel the sticky and warm feeling of blood dripping down my cheeks. Oh, is it Hamlet? I think it's Hamlet. Hold on. Google Hamlet washing hands. In, like, the Lady Macbeth. Like, she thinks there's blood on her hands, but... Yeah. Lady Macbeth bloody hands quote. Yeah, okay. Is that what her gloves are there for? Like, is that just, you know... I should be worried. Instead, I feel my attention drawn towards her. Her beautiful blonde hair, soft lips with skin, so fair and swaying hips. Well, nothing more than a hold. So, this is kind of no lose. Calm down, Chicky. She laughs and she smiles when she looks at me, but where are her eyes? Temptation is gone and it's an I recoil, horrified at this reflection I'm seeing. Only to back into something, rather someone. Mrs. Wright stands there, whirling a lock of her blonde hair, a soft smile on her lips and a hand on her hip. Hand on her hip. That's not... I almost back away, but I ground and remind myself that this is a client. Whatever I just saw, well, wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that perhaps I'm going a bit daft. Okay, I can assume she saw the letter then. A bit preferable, of course. Then goes all the trick of the light, of the makings of an overactive imagination.
Good morning, Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Have you been standing there long?
No, I just came down and saw you were having a hard time with the telly. We must have forgotten to change the batteries. Are you all right, dear? You're looking a bit pale. Haven't you had breakfast yet?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast already, Mrs. Wright. I just need...
Well then, you mustn't have had enough breakfast. I'm all for a good diet, but that's the most important meal of the day. Johans is cooking up pancakes. Pancakes will make anyone feel better, he always says. We can sit down and tuck in. You'll feel right as rain once we get some fluffy, syrupy goodness in you.
Hold on. Profiles. Hannah's 31, Marianne's 30. Presumably they went to the same school together. Maybe, that one friend is Hannah, or maybe, you know, Bully, either one. Wait a second. She went to St. Lucia's School for Young Ladies? And she was, this is Angie from movie Neko. No, that's Samantha, not Lucia. That's...
And are you sure you're fine, Marianne? You're shaking.
Looking down at my hands, I can see them trembling. Really? Just because she looks so much like her, becoming a dang train wreck. I've been seeing her in my dreams and hearing her voice ever since I met Mrs. Rain at the mansion. So many blondes in the world, what was different with her? What was different this time? Not feeling too well, just remembered something. Now, there's a lot of different paths I just remembered something could take. Like, I just remembered I left my oven on. I left my sink running. You know, I left OBS open. You know? Or it could be I just remembered that you just look just like my high school friend, Bully, whatever. Looks like this doesn't really diverge. Immediately, at least.
I just remembered something, that's all. It's nothing to worry about.
Are you sure? I am all ears if there is something bothering you. I don't mind a good story, and I don't want it to affect your work performance.
Gossipy wagon, isn't she? She should just leave you alone. It's not like you need her.
This is Eva Beatrice. Hey.
You don't have to worry about that, Mrs. Wright. I say business stays business, and anything else can stay in the doghouse until I'm done with work.
I get it! Marianne is Eva! Eva. I don't know which one it is, but think about it. Both of them, we hate both of them. You know, they have an imaginary friend who's actually just them. We have, you know? Just have to bear through it, don't I? I tell you that I'm hearing voices. That'd be a fast track straight to the nut house. What else can I do? Saint Defana, help me lest I become like your father Damon. Saying at the thought of lost love and mad in the pursuit of another.
Shall we talk about your work then?
If you'd like. It's on your time, after all.
I've been told many good things about you, and I've seen some of your work before. Others speak very highly of your work etiquette, yet I've never heard of you before. Not even a whisper of the McCullough name.
Well, I've only been in Luxbourne for 4 years. Tried to make it big in London for nearly 3 years before, and I've only been working these high-quality projects for the past year.
I stick straight to the point. It's best to be brief when talking to clients, after all. Keep it clean-cut as much as possible. Yet at the same time, to make it engaging so it doesn't look like I don't want to talk to them.
I imagine it hasn't been easy. I can't see why you've moved from London to Luxbourne, though.
Job vacancies were fewer at the time, and I had a lot of competition in London. Let's not even talk about the living costs there. But I'm glad I moved here, even if it hadn't been smooth sailing. If I had it easy, I probably wouldn't be working projects like these.
Why even bother explaining to her? She won't understand. She's practically born with a silver spoon in her mouth.
Shut up, Eva.
The woman could probably snap her fingers and have servants attending to her beck and call.
She does look the part of a spoiled heiress. It's heiress, not hair-is, right? Doesn't she? It'd be a relief just to say that. Something that's different from Mrs. Wright in turn. Before she can get another warden, which that may have proven me wrong or right, she looks up at the loft with a fond expression on her face. With just a single glance, she could put in so much love that I feel a tad bit jealous of whoever holds it.
Good morning, Luke, darling.
Good morning, ladies. What a wonderful morning it is. that I wake up to such a beautiful sight.
Oh yeah, my wife. The woman I almost cheated on her with, but instead drank tea with instead. Marianne visited the Wright's penthouse to discuss work with the couple. While waiting for them, as she tried to turn the telly on, she got a glimpse of her horrifying past. Henry Wright soon showed up, asking a very spooked Marianne if she was feeling well. No. Granting she.
I do hope you two are getting along. I smell pancakes. I do hope you two are considering a diet just so I can have them all to myself.
Don't be a pig, Luke. You eat all of those and you might stop fitting into your tight suits.
What? I'm not a pig. You don't think I'm a pig, do you, Marianne?
With a saucy smile, a playful wink, can't help but think you're a bit of a pig. Wow, that's just...
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm an interior designer, not a zoologist.
The only sows she must be familiar with are statement of works.
Sow?
Well, don't be a bore. You two might not be in a rush, but I'm going to go ahead and feast.
Joke's lost on me.
If you dawdle too long, he'll hog all the syrup.
Rich people are so essential.
Come on then, we can discuss business over food.
So no denying the clients when they invite me over to the table. Though it is too personal to share a meal in their home, it'd be terribly rude to deny their invitation. Okay, and that's where it unifies. Wonder what that noise was. Oh, maybe it's just, you know, the imaginary ghost friend. Besides, the pancakes did look and smell heavenly. Bowl of clotted cream. Nasu! Nope. I'm not reading anything until the I don't know if to call this a seizure or not, whatever you...
You know, I was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
Tiny bit.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables?
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey.
An interior helipad? That's cheap.
You don't handle exterior designs and whatever handles those sorts of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there? Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC, as well as the old owners. Everything has been paid in full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please.
The old owners, are they, like, still alive? I assume the ones we see in the memory fragments are dead.
It's not like they were living there in the first place.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it.
What about another ghost?
First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernize the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances. You worked on the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before. Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
Customize appliances then. I can't find someone for that, and if you can't tell me what you specifically want, it'll hasten up the process. We're talking about electronic appliance manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda? All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
I stopped. What sort of half-baked designer did that? If I knew who they were, I would have words. This isn't the time or place for it, however. Instead, I used this brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with me.
We'll have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run-through.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts.
Which one? What is that little... the quarters?
Used, apparently, for the ladies-in-waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. Which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of houses.
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit. You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
I love fashion. But do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear? We'll have large closets and a wardrobe in the bed.
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet. Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things. Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over.
Kylie!
Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
Ghost Girl is real? Okay. She mentioned... I don't think she named her. Or if she did, you know, it didn't mean anything because we hadn't seen Kylie and Zachary's out yet. So, who is Kylie?
1, you are not inviting that witch. And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in. We don't need a children's room. And you don't even do arts and crafts. I'd like to turn the guest's room and the study into my personal office, by the way, if you don't mind.
It looks so evil in that spray.
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. You're always out doing business anyway. The real problem is the theater. Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
Oh. Maybe watch movies in it.
Fine. We could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea. By the looks of things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room? Right there, in the northeast corner.
Northeast? Is that a study room? It's kind of blurry, so I can't see it.
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
Oh, that is perfect! Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in. It'd be convenient, so they don't have to make the trip from Luxbourne to the mansion when they're needed.
You'll definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought.
So hold on. So, Johan, how often does Johan's work? Like, okay, so we know he works the 30th because that's when he kicked us. He kicked our butts, pardon my French. I don't remember, right? It seems like he works every day.
Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because what happened?
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again. Oh, you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless. He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too and I'd dance and it was just...
Mr. Wright playing the piano? Can't imagine it. But there it is when which Mrs. Wright says so.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage? Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theater, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
Come on! Don't make me into this. Gotta go Luke, you know, Hannah's dead to me. I don't know if Hannah went down or up. But they're both well above, you know, the default line, so... Really wish they didn't look at me like that. It's their decision to make. But if they want to ask me for a professional's point of view, I'd be happy to give them my 2 cents.
You can still have a garage.
See? Marianne agrees with me. Thank you.
But the structural integrity of the mansion might be at risk if we try to turn the dining hall or any of the rooms into a garage. Taking down one of the exterior walls might hit one of the support beams. And with a mansion that old, I'd rather not risk it, especially without closer inspection. There's always compromise, of course.
I suppose that's better than nothing. Better than flat out saying no.
Mrs. Wright does have a point. There's plenty of space for a garage outside of the mansion itself. If you'd like a covered parking space, we can arrange something on the grounds instead.
Then we better go there. I want to see where we can build a garage.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief. But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
It's not like I have much of a choice, do I? Mansion's arrangements were discussed over breakfast. During the meeting, the right couple had an argument about the mansion's arrangements. In the end, they decided a visit will settle it. Mansion tree? Okay, we're not there yet. Riding the Ermengarde mansion in their ranks is an awkward affair. Not only am I worried about scuffing the expensive leather seats, I'm also worried about getting in the middle of another couple's bed. With the tension thick in the air, I feel them staring at each other anytime. Nobody's saying anything, up until Mr. Wright tells his valet to turn the dang radio off. For a moment, thinking that he might start, but instead he just stays quiet. So do the rest of us. In the end, the sufferable silence stays. I've never been so glad to see a house. Stepping out of the car and up to the mansion meant the end of an uncomfortable ride. I could finally take a deep breath of fresh air. And the spooky wind sound effect plays. The beauty of the place never fails to make me gaze and wonder every time I see it as well. Mrs. Wright moves towards the front door, keys in hand. I can hear Mr. Wright plotting.
Alright, Johans, we're going to go in, but I want you to look around the place. Familiarize yourself with it. Know every nook and cranny, every inch of the lot. Go and see where we can put that vineyard and the other things we talked about. We'll want to know where to station security as well, so go around the perimeter and figure it out.
Scout the property and circle the perimeter on foot. You do know this is 46 acres of land, sir.
Hey, you have an hour. Get on.
Well, you are not driving a car over the grass. Put those long, spidery legs of yours to good use. I didn't hire you to stand around and look intimidating. Go, mush.
Someday I'd like to ask how Johans, like that's a J, that's not a yo, can even stand and tolerate the man. Why doesn't he just quit? Certainly the pay can't be that good. Even I'm a bit put off by our mutual employer. The only thing that keeps me from bailing is the fact that we've already signed a contract. At least, I'll only be working with them during the duration of the project. He works with them every day.
Sometimes I think you hired me to make me suffer for your amusement.
Someday, I'd ask. Feel a bit bad for him. If it's any consolation, he'll be away from Mr. Wright, only for a little while. We're able to enter the mansion after a bit of standing out there in the sun. This wretched, strange sunlight that is far too alien and rare. There had been a bit of a problem, with the missus not knowing which key is which. The first item on the agenda would be the grand staircase. It seemed sturdy during the open house, but a closer inspection might say otherwise. There's no obvious marks of damage, nor wear and tear, obviously irritated during renovations. Peeking under the grand carpet, the wood is properly installed and the bark placed down to prevent clumping. The carpet itself could use a vacuum though. Structural conditions, from what I can see without actually dismantling anything, looks to be in good shape. The handrails and support posts are firm. The work on it should be commended. Can't look much more into the rest of the foyer, however, since Mr. Wright starts to hurry us into checking the dining hall.
So, what do you think? Certainly we can't turn this area into a garage.
It's Jacobean architecture. I'd say these would be pilasters and not buttresses, but you never really know. They really liked mixing up these elements. You could say it was pretty avant-garde at the time. We might hit a support beam if we're not careful.
Wait, that's avant-garde? I thought it was avant-garde. I mean, it makes sense that the E's silent, but that makes a lot... Okay.
And in layman's terms?
From what I see here, we could risk great damage to the house if we try to turn the dining hall into a garage.
Amanda didn't look too pleased at this. There's a look of disappointment before he sighs and looks around the place with an air of defeat. When he moves to speak, there's yet another unreasonable demand.
This will stay a dining hall then, but if I may have another request instead, at least spruce the place up with some flowers, some plants or something. It feels so old and dead in here.
I wonder if, whatever day, remember when Hannah and Luke were in the dining hall and they were arguing about whatever? I wonder if the background is actually different, like these vases have plants in them. That'd be a really nice touch. if they did that.
That's hardly unreasonable. Daffodils are a must, I presume.
Kind of like in the Heavensfield normal ending. They could have just gotten away with using the same background, but they changed it, you know, for every, like, year. The look that passes between the two of them is a genuine look of fondness there. This is the first time I've seen such an exchange between the two of them. If anyone were to see them like this, it's little doubt that they loved each other.
Of course, and I want a garden full of them. Now, if you excuse me, I'd like to look at the rest of the house. I'll just be around here downstairs, if anybody needs me.
That leaves Mrs. Wright and
He's quite fond of them, you know.
I can imagine. He looked terribly upset when we told him he can't have his garage.
I meant the daffodils. We always have a vase full of them in every house we own. Somewhere. I'd like
Symbolism.
to think they may be about his mother. He never talks about her. I don't even know her name. He likes to flatter, claim that they remind him of me, but he's always loved the flowers, even before we married.
Much like the piano, I didn't take him for a person who liked flowers. Daffodils, least of all. What's a daffodil look like? Daffodil. Okay. Like that. Oh, it's the Narcissus. That's... You know, like... You know, that's like... The visual novel Narcissus told a little backstory about it. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it did, about the flower at least. At least about the guy who was similarly named. It's where the word narcissist comes from. What's next? I'm gonna find out that Mr. Wright saves kittens from burning buildings?
I'll go and snoop about upstairs. You go and do whatever it is that you have to do.
When she goes on without even asking if I need her here, I'm left standing to stare at the walls. Really, I don't need to do a thorough inspection of the building itself. It isn't really part of the interior designer's job. The architect in me is committed to doing this task with every project. If I'm going to make a living space that have both form and function, might as well make sure that the entirety of it is safe for my clients. Since I'm already here, roam around the dining hall to check things off my punch list, if you will. When it's time to move on, I hesitate. Mr. Wright said he would be somewhere around here on the ground floor. I really didn't want to be alone with whiskey. I have to look through the place eventually, sure, but on the other hand, I could do it while he's gone. We can go upstairs first if I want to. So, did Hannah say she was going upstairs? Yeah, okay, so basically this is, do you want to get Luke points or Hannah points? Oh, if we go to the first floor, there's a possible dead end. Is this cheating to look at the film? We're almost done. Like, I imagine I'll end next episode, maybe. Well, this is really linear. Okay, let's check out the ground floor. That's what I was thinking. I like Luke more than Hannah, so I mean, you know. Alright, just because there's one troublesome client, shouldn't mean I'll let him get in the way of my work. Parlor is my first destination. Mostly because I figure Mr. Wright is hiding down in the wine cellar, making plans there. The guy, like this couple, he kind of looks like Luke. I mean, kind of. I mean, like, you know, they have the same color hair. It's basically same person, right? Gonna bump into him sooner or later, but I'd rather make it later. Much later. Place upon closer inspection is in good shape. Don't doubt this place was done with most care, considering it would be one of the first rooms visitors would have seen during the open house. There's a stain on the carpet, most likely by one of the guests at the time, but it isn't anything a good cleaning can't get rid of. Next is the music room. Or at least, that's the plan.
Locked? Oh, come on now.
We rattle the doorknob again, harder this time to double check. Maybe give it a good budge to see if the problems with the door itself. But no, definitely locked. That is weird, considering the rest of the rooms aren't. Could just be this one though. I can try the other door to the ballroom if I really want to get in. That's when I hear it. Sound of a piano. I'll just press one note over and over again. The ghost's not very good at piano. Makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand. Back away from the door. So, wait, are we gonna get like ghost on ghost fight? Like it's, like, you know, the ghost attacks Marianne, but her ghost comes out and it's like, Aura! Can just go back to it later. Maybe see if I can go through the ballroom, man. The music door opens. And who else but Luke Wright stands by the doorway. Looks a lot like a cat that ain't a cannery. and I didn't appreciate the way his eyes lingered.
Isn't it common sense the locked doors mean someone wants a bit of privacy? You didn't try and break the door down. Or did you just want to see me again that badly without the misses? I don't see why you would though, Mint. Nothing really happened between us.
Wait, we drink tea.
Well, I wasn't looking for whiskey. I was just going around to do my inspection. Thought it needed a push, just in case the door was stuck and actually needed repairs.
So you really are some fancy interior designer, huh? Had you told me you were one, I would have called you a piss taker. I figured you'd be, I don't know, an assistant going for a drink after a week with a tosser of a boss.
I'm just glad you thought me any sort of professional with how ossified I was. I must have not looked the part, so I understand your surprise.
He doesn't offer a witty retort, and he grows quiet.
At first glance, Hana didn't look like some fancy finance manager when I first met her either. She was the pretty daughter of this rich, powerful man. When she was introduced, they told me that she was not there as the man's daughter, but as a part of management. I thought it dubious. All the beautiful women I knew before her, they used their looks to get what they want. And there she was, with all that she could ever need in life, and yet she works hard to earn her keep.
It sounds like you admire her.
Hearing that, I too can't help but feel admiration for
You
Mrs.
enjoy
Ray.
your job, don't you, Mint?
It helps me earn my keep, as you would put it. A bit strange to say out loud, but it gives me purpose as well.
Do you think then that, maybe, Hana would want to go back to being a working person?
Taken aback at this question, I wait for further clarification. Wexham asked this. Why me of all people, right? But when I see that no explanation is coming, I think you should ask her.
Shouldn't you be asking her this? Isn't her opinion much more important than that of someone you just met in a pub a few nights ago?
You're a woman, and I figured you might know more. I mean, people are always saying that women are fulfilled by having husbands and having a good home. But then, I see ones like you who look happy having jobs. Maybe she's like you, and having a job would be better for her.
Just because I'm a woman? You do know we don't all think the same way. But I don't know, I'm not married or anything, but this shouldn't be a complicated matter. She's your wife for how many years? Talk to her. Ask her what she wants. Don't you guys talk during supper or something?
That gets him thinking. Or at least it looks like it does.
Well, I should let you get back to work. Thanks for talking with me, I suppose.
Right. But anything goes awry if you take my advice. Just remember that I'm not some marriage counselor. So take it with a grain of salt.
My marriage goes down the shitter, I'll sue you. Noted.
Wait, that's not...
Too late. Takes a step back into the music room, shuts the door, and leaves me there, looking gobsmacked. Wasn't serious, was he? That man, I don't understand him at all. One moment, he's this huge, what do you just... Huge jerk. Got him. That is this person.
Odd guy.
Next.
Still needs a good arse kicking if you ask me.
Okay, so forget about going to the music room then. That's fine. I'll have to go out there sooner or later. In the meantime, I can go around and check the rest of the house. All my worries fade when I step into the ballroom. And well, the whole place is just grand, isn't it? I can see why the guides made sure nobody else would take this place from them. Anyone else would certainly be the belle of the ball. It's pretty much one great big status symbol. I don't think I could do much of a thorough inspection in this room, so I note it down for later. I'm like, oh boy, let's just go down in the cellar. That's not spooky at all. Check the ventilation and general fire safety in this kitchen. This bit is important for a place of this size. I would, of course, suggest bringing an actual fire safety inspector over for a more detailed inspection. It wouldn't do to see such beautiful architecture go up in flames, after all. Take measurements of the countertops and cabinets. Note down what type of wood they use. They want some of these recreated to high modern appliances. There's a loose floorboard in the farthest corner, and some of the others have scratches, but everything else seems to be in decent shape. Concentration is broken when someone knocks.
You can come in. Door's not locked.
I wait, expecting Mrs. Wright or their butler to come in. Nobody entered. Instead, there's knocking again. It's louder and more urgent this time. Pretty sure I didn't lock the thing.
All right. I'm coming. Just hold on.
I'm ready for the ghost. Let me turn my volume down. When I move to open the door, though, I realize something. The knocking isn't coming from the door. Oh, we're from somewhere else. The trapdoor? Pause for a second, waiting. The knocking's not ceasing. Soon enough, it becomes desperate. The door thuds before switching to what seems to be a scratching. Desperate and insistent moments, as if grasping for his
Is
life.
somebody stuck down there? Fuck!
Where did that come from? I don't even get down there. That put the heart crossed why I knew it did. Pardon? I love cats, but they have no business giving people a fright. For a second there, all these ghastly rumors about the place had come flooding back. Now, peering at the darkness of the trap door gets me thinking. Is there... It doesn't look like it. We're 40 minutes in, oh. It gets me curious. Seriously though, I should make sure there aren't any more surprises you've done under. I think the guys would appreciate if we found a litter of kids making a house in the wine cellar. Oh yeah, let's just go down to the cellar, that's not gonna go wrong. Mr. Wright seemed the type to skin a cat if any of his precious wines were to be contaminated. None of the kitchens anyway. I'll see you guys next time when we explore the wine cellar. See you guys then. Bye.